Tak, ale chodzi o to, że zanim on wjedzie w kadr... Nie, na live to wiadomo, że chcę was odkryć zaraz, gdyby było tak. Ty bierzesz obrazek ode mnie, czy bierzesz obrazek?
What else going on Friday? I missed something. Yeah, I just heard this week.
So they actually did that, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah. Time's gonna go. Yeah.
Well, meeting's off, guys. 5 after.
Postponed to 6 p.m.
Całe miejsce weszli z drugiej strony, z tych miesięcy, które nas docierają, wynika, że jest już konkret. Oni weszli z drugiej strony niż ta, którą prawdopodobnie Państwo pokazali.
Including his photography.
Yeah.
Oh, he could be chatting it along.
And they're waiting for the signal to come on in.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, he's chatting it with the European guys.
Yeah. No, he's at McDonald's after one. He can't give us an
Okay, got the point. Maybe he's wrong.
That's not the
There's a Stacy film. I don't know, man.
It's much before. Waves from abstract. AAA maps, played the 86.
We're shooting at it yet, so it's going to be first.
Like you? Climb the ground? Okay.
They're all trying to get their visas renewed. Hoping but there's still wars on the visa. And they're panicking. You know, some of them are a couple months less than this renew visa.
Yeah, I've seen theirs not.
Doing the same with the Afghans, isn't it?
Especially at
Wars not a reason. I mean, it's black man.
We're just got 2 minutes.
Wow.
Where's she going?
It's not learning Russian, I guess.
One thing they do know how to speak. I mean, actually, Ukraine is talking about getting a lot of line up.
We never have busy again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Mr. Fletcher and
18 minutes.
Sergeant Brett.
18 minutes, so yeah. 18 minutes.
For what?
We got like 10 minutes.
Just that you
No, I mean, it's just whoever was available to go. Whoever got there first.
Great shot. We're just discussing all the
Fletcher's been around the longest. 20+ years, yeah.
Usually, it doesn't
get this slow. Well, he's just been doing it for so long. I would say he always... unless it launched from here. Launched from here, or is it going yeah, I actually didn't go in a while.
Yeah, somebody will... they're starting, so they just changed positions to one hand.
Oh, at least to the perimeter. Okay. Why are you inside the perimeter? Gates opening.
They're pulling the way.
Gates headed to them.
Any challenge points from the Secret Service?
Gates open. Gates are open. Gates open. Gates open. Is that a raindrop?
Oh, it's raining.
Nobody's come out, so...
Arrivals happening. Arrivals happening. Yeah, I gotta go. Bye.
Ja też mam taką nadzieję. Tak, już jestem ponownie i tutaj pojawiają się głosy o tym, że Volodymyr Zelenskiy ma zaraz przyjechać, ponieważ są informacje o tym, że brama została otwarta, to jest brama, która do wejścia do tego
Nie ma fajnie. Cheers.
Yeah. Your motorcycle. Yeah, they're right.
Słuchaj, Krystyna. Zelenskiy dziennikarzy. Wracając do tego, kiedy właśnie jest taki przykład tego, że czekanie tego po schodach jest takie uczucie, że jest wystarczającym stopniu obcinania. No, tam jeden z tych ostatnich historii są o tym, że sposobem na szybkie zakończenie wojny jest to, Ukraina po prostu nigdy zrezygnowała z tych spraw.
Okay, flags going out. Flags going up. Let's see how bad this is going to be. All right, here we go.
Turning in, turning in, turning in.
Can't see him. We haven't got a fish on top of it yet.
Oh, they're holding them up here.
That'll work.
That'll work. All right, we're happy with that. Sort of. Holding up here.
This is way better than a full stick shift I've ever seen. It's like a 15-hour day. Oh, 100%. It's going to be like the I'm going to go right in.
Yeah, I just have to do this quickly and then...
Get that in my brain.
Krishan, you all right?
Oh.
There we go. There we go. There we go. It's very kind of you to ask.
Check on you, man.
You're doing okay. Okay, see cars.
Car moving? Cars coming in.
Cars moving.
Marines are out.
You will.
He's coming. He's coming. He's coming.
Zelenskiy 大統領がホワイトハウスに到着しました。この後、トランプ大統領と会談を行います。ゼレンスキー大統領がホワイトハウスに到着しました。この後、トランプ大統領と会談を行います。ゼレンスキー大統領がホワイトハウスに到着しました。トランプ大統領が現在にいます。
President Trump, sir, your message to the people of Ukraine as world leaders gather here today. Russia continues to attack civilians in Kharkiv, killing many.
Is there a just offer for peace on the table? Will you cede land to Russia?
Ale dzień, na który przychodzi tak mniejszy.
How
about you? Yeah, I'm not even. Yeah, at least I got that.
coming through hot coffee. Hot coffee. Oh no.
I'll leave right now. That's in London. Right. Yeah. We all have to move in unison.
Lunchtime yet?
Oh, I already ate. Thanks.
Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to have the President of Ukraine with us. We've had a lot of good discussions, a lot of good talks, and I think progress is being made, very, very substantial progress in many ways. We had a good meeting, as you know, just a short while ago with the President of Russia, and I think there's a possibility that something could come out of it, and today's meeting is very important. We have, I guess, the seven very powerful leaders from Europe, and we're going to be meeting with them right after this meeting, and thank you very much for being here.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. If I can, first of all, thank you for invitation, and thank you very much for your efforts, personal efforts to stop killings and stop this war. Thank you, and using this opportunity, many thanks to your wife, First Lady of the United States. She sent a letter to Putin about our children, abducted children, and my wife, First Lady of Ukraine, she gave the letter. It's not to you, to your wife.
Oh, I want it.
Yeah. So we are saying this sensitive topic, yes, please. And thanks to our partners, and that you supported this format, that after our meeting we can have leaders who are around us, the UK, France, Germany, Italy, Finland, EU, NATO, I mean all partners around Ukraine supporting us. Thanks to them, and thank you very much for invitation.
Thank you very much for being here.
President Trump.
Do you think it's fair?
Yes, Peter, go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump. So, President Zelensky, you say in a post on X today, Russia must end this war, which it itself started. President Trump, you say President Zelensky of Ukraine can end the war with Russia almost immediately if he wants to. Which is it?
Yeah, I think that's true. I think we're going to have a meeting. I think if everything works out well today, we'll have a trilat. And I think there will be a reasonable chance of ending the war when we do that.
And is this the end of the road for American support for Ukraine? Is today's meeting deal or no deal?
I can never say that. It's never the end of the road. People are being killed, and we want to stop that. So I would not say it's the end of the road. No, I think we have a good chance of doing it. It's been almost 4 years now that a lot of people were killed last week. A lot of people last week. I mean, millions of people killed, but a lot of people last week for whatever reason. A big number, a lot of soldiers, on both sides. And I know the president, I know myself, and I believe Vladimir Putin wants to see it ended.
And as you met with Putin on Friday, today you've got President Zelensky here. As you listen to Russia and Ukraine, which side has the better cards?
Well, I don't want to say that. I'm just here to be, look, this isn't my war. This is Joe Biden's war. He's the one that had a lot to do with this happening, and we want to get it ended. And we want it to end good for everybody. We want it to end good. The people of Ukraine have suffered incredibly.
And to that point, President Zelensky, are you prepared to keep sending Ukrainian troops to their deaths for another couple years, or are you going to agree to redraw the maps?
Thank you for your question. So, first of all, we live under each day attacks. That today have been a lot of attacks and a lot of wounded people, and the child was dead, small one year and a half. So we need to stop this war, to stop Russia, and we need support American and European partners, and we will do our best for this. So, and I think we show that we are strong people, and we supported the idea of the United States, of personally of President Trump, to stop this war, to make a diplomatic way of finishing this war, and we are ready for trilateral, as President said. This is a good signal about trilateral. I think this is very good. Thank you.
Mr. President,
yes, if the peace deal will be achieved, are you going to be willing to send American peacekeepers to Ukraine?
Well, we're going to work with Ukraine. We're going to work with everybody, and we're going to make sure that if there's peace, the peace is going to stay long-term. This is very long-term. We're not talking about a 2-year peace and then we end up in this mess again. We're going to make sure that everything's good. We'll work with Russia. We're going to work with Ukraine, and we're going to make sure it works. And I think if we can get to peace, it's going to work. I have no doubt about it.
Your team has talked about
Your team has talked about security guarantees. Could that involve U.S. troops? Would you roll that out in the future?
We'll let you know that maybe later today. We're meeting with 7 great leaders of great countries also, and we'll be talking about that. They'll all be involved, but there'll be a lot of help. When it comes to security, there's going to be a lot of help. It's going to be good. They are first line of defense because they're there. They're Europe. But we're going to help them out also. We'll be involved.
Mr. President, Vladimir Putin mentioned that the war will not end without addressing the root causes of this war. Have you had an understanding what are the root causes of this war?
Well, look, the war is going to end. When it ends, I can't tell you, but the war is going to end, and this gentleman wants it to end, and Vladimir Putin wants it to end. I think the whole world is tired of it, and we're going to get it ended. It was, you know, I've done 6 wars. I've ended 6 wars, and I thought this maybe would be the easiest one, and it's not the easiest one. It's a tough one. A lot of reasons for it, and they'll be talking about it for a long time. But they'll be talking about the others. Look, India, Pakistan. We're talking about the big places. When you look at, you just take a look at some of these wars. You go to Africa and take a look at that. Rwanda and the Congo, Republic of the Congo. That's been going on for 31 years. And so we've done a total of 6, and we really have 6, not including the fact that we obliterated, and it turned out to be a total obliteration, the nuclear, as you said, the future nuclear capability of Iran. And this one, I think we're going to get solved also. I feel confident we're going to get it solved.
Thank you,
Mr. President. Can you tell us about your conversations with European leaders and what they need to see to support an end to the war?
Yeah, well, we're going to be meeting with a great representative group and 7 very powerful, very big countries, and great people, all friends of mine and friends of yours. And we're going to have some suggestions made. They want to see peace. They would like to see peace.
President, you said last
in
night
the red, in the red.
President Trump, do you think it's fair to, for Ukraine and for Russia to achieve a lasting and durable peace if Ukraine cedes its territories that Russia hasn't yet conquered? Do you think it's a fair peace for Ukraine?
We're going to have a lasting peace. Just to answer the first part of your question, we're going to have a lasting peace. I hope it's going to be immediately. I hope it doesn't have to go on. And I think people of the whole world is going to be very happy when that's announced.
Mr. President, you posted on social media, Mr. President, a very touching letter from the First Lady. And the letter was hand-delivered to President Putin. And it calls for an end to the war, essentially, because of the children and the children's future. Why did the First Lady feel that letter was necessary? Was it because she believes that Mr. Putin is the aggressor in the war? Is a similar letter being hand-delivered to President Zelensky?
So the First Lady felt very strongly. She's watched the same thing that you watch and that I watch. I see things that you don't get to see, and it's horrible. But when she's got a great love of children, she has a wonderful son that she loves, probably more than anybody, including me. I hate to say it, but she loves her son. She loves children, and she hates to see something like this happening. And that goes for other wars too. I mean, she sees the heartbreak, the parents, the funerals that you see on television. Always funerals. We want to see something other than funerals. No, she felt. It was a beautiful letter. It was very well received by him. And she did ask me to say, you know, she would love to see this end. She would love to see it end. And she says it very openly, very proudly, and with great sorrow because so many people have been killed.
Mr. President, last week,
Brian, go ahead, Brian.
Yes, sir. I've got a question for each of you.
Yes.
First of all, Mr. President Zelensky, you look fabulous in that suit.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, you look good.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, looks good on
I
you.
said the one that attacked you last time.
Yeah.
See, now he's I remember that.
Yeah, I apologize to you. You look wonderful. No, my first question for you, President Zelensky.
In the same suit. You see, I changed you.
Maybe yours is much better.
please.
Real quickly, upon peace, God willing we get peace, are you open to holding an election in your country?
Yes, of course. We are open for election, yes. We have to do safety circumstances, and a little bit we need to work in the parliament, because during the war you can't have elections, but we can do security. We need, maybe, how to say, we need a truth, yes, everywhere, in the battlefield, in the sky, and the sea, yeah, to make possible for people to do democratic, open, legal elections.
So you say
we're ready.
during the war you can't have elections. So let me just say 3.5 years from now, so you mean if we happen to be in a war with somebody, no more elections. Oh, that's good. I wonder what the fake
You like
news
this
is.
idea?
Yeah.
No.
Speaking of news, I got a question for you. This sounds insane for me even to ask this, but do you think the American media really doesn't even want a peace deal because they've seen they've been so critical of you every step of the way as you lead the charge for peace?
It's an amazing phenomenon. I said that if in the settlement you got Moscow, St. Petersburg, and thousands of miles around them, they would say, I made a bad deal. The level of hatred and animosity is incredible. Not with all. I mean, we have great people up here. We also have terrible people up there that I think are told what to say. But, you know, in solving all of these wars, they don't even write about it. You know, I saw major wars. I saw wars that have been going on for 31, 35, and 37, and a couple of quicker ones. One that was going to go into a full-blown deal very quickly. You know what the one I'm talking about. It was a big one. But they don't even write about that. No matter what I do, no matter what, and you know, this is not anything to do with you. It's probably to your advantage in a certain way. But no matter what I do, no matter what deal I make, from my standpoint, you'll come out good. Maybe President Putin will come out good. But they'll say, Trump was absolutely horrible. It's just that, and I've lived with that for a long time. I've lived with it since just before the first election. I used to get great publicity. Now I get the worst publicity anyone's ever gotten in office, but I won in a landslide, so that people understand. They're the only ones that count, ultimately. But I've also had great reporters. I've had journalists that are very good. But it's very sad when you do the right thing. As an example, they said, because of the fact that Vladimir Putin came to American soil, this was a tremendous defeat for Donald Trump. No, it was really wonderful that he did it. It was a hard thing for him to do, to be honest with you. It was the opposite of what they said, but they said it. Now, if he didn't come, they'd say that was also bad for Trump. You know, there's no way. And there's just a great dishonesty of the press, and I think that's why it's lost its credibility. You know, its credibility is at an all-time low. We have a thing going on right now in D.C. We went from the most unsafe place anywhere to a place that now people, friends are calling me up, Democrats are calling me up, and they're saying, sir, I want to thank you. My wife and I went out to dinner last night for the first time in 4 years, and Washington, D.C. is safe, and you did that in 4 days. I'll tell you, it's safe. I had another friend of mine. He has a son who's a great golfer. He's on tour, and he came in 4th yesterday in the big tournament where Scotty Scheffler made the great shot, and he said his son is going to dinner in Washington, D.C. tonight. I said, would you have allowed that to happen a year ago? He said, no way, no way. He said, what you've done is incredible. And I think the people realize it. But the press says, he's a dictator, he's trying to take over. No, all I want is security for our people. But people that haven't gone out to dinner in Washington, D.C. in 2 years are going out to dinner. And the restaurants the last 2 days were busier than they've been in a long time. Thank
Sir,
you.
I walked around yesterday with MTG. If you could walk around with D.C. with MTG and not be attacked, the city is safe.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. President. Last week you warned of what you called severe consequences if a 30-day ceasefire or any type of ceasefire were not agreed to by Russia. Will there be severe consequences? Does that change because of
I don't think you need a
President
ceasefire. You know, if you look at the 6 deals that I settled this year, they were all at war. I didn't do any ceasefires. And I know that it might be good to have, but I can also understand strategically why, well, you know, one country or the other wouldn't want it. You have a ceasefire and they rebuild and rebuild and rebuild, and, you know, maybe they don't want that. But if you look at the 6 deals that we made peace and you know, long-term, long-running wars, I didn't do